Alright, so for this recipe, I'm going to be using garlic salt, onion powder, black pepper, as well as a green bell pepper, a white onion, and a can of beef broth. Okay. Then for my meat, I'm going to use 100% lean. Okay, so clearly I was really tired when I did this intro. Ignore my blooper, please. Preformed patties here. Okay, so let's get started. So first you want to start by chopping your bell pepper and onion. Chop it to whatever size that you prefer. So the patties have been thawed out. I'm using garlic salt, onion powder, and black pepper. And I'm just going to season one side of the patty only. As you can see here, I'm patting the seasoning into the patty just so that it's not sitting on top of the patty. And I have my wok heated on medium heat, and I'm dropping in the patties seasoned side down, and I'm going to season the other side of the patty. I also added 1 tablespoon of butter. And so when you cook your patties, you just want to cook them on each side for about 3 minutes. And so once you've cooked both sides of the patties, then just remove it from the skillet, and then you want to cook your remaining patties. And so now let's move on to the next step. So I've drained the oil from the skillet, but as you can see, there's a lot of black stuff in the bottom of the skillet. You guys, my skillet is not burned from the hamburger patties. That is flavor. So you want to leave that into the skillet. I've added in 2 tablespoons of butter and melted that down. And now I'm going to saute the bell peppers and onion. I only sauteed them for about 5 minutes, or until they were translucent in color. So after the bell pepper and onion was sauteed, now I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of flour. And I'm going to make a gravy for the Salisbury steak. And of course, the flour is going to thicken the beef broth that I'm going to add to this recipe. So when you add in your flour, you just want to mix that into the onions, and you want to let that flour cook out a little bit for about 2 to 3 minutes, or until the flour is gone and you can no longer see the powdery form of the flour. So next I'm adding in my beef broth. So after the beef broth was added, I increased the heat to medium high, and I'm stirring in that broth just to mix it up really good. And so after you add in your beef broth, it's going to begin to thicken up. So from this point, you want to continue to stir until you bring that to a boil. Then you want to decrease your heat back down to medium. So for me, there was a lot of up and down with the heat because I didn't want anything to burn. So yeah, you just have to monitor your heat setting. As you can see, I'm scraping the bottom of the skillet. I'm actually trying to get all of that good flavor to release and break down into the gravy. After the gravy began to thicken up, I used about 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. And so from here, you want to taste your gravy, add whatever you'd like to add. I added in a pinch of salt. If you want to add in a little pepper, that's totally fine. And so now I'm returning the patties back to the skillet with the gravy, and I'm gonna let this simmer on medium low heat for about 20 minutes. And that completes this recipe. So very simple and so easy. This is like a quick go-to meal, you know, after a hard day at work. If you want to make a nice good dinner and you don't feel like shaping up the patties and, you know, just doing all of that extra stuff that you normally would do to make Salisbury steaks, you can make this in a much more, you know, easier way, and it tastes so good. I would not lie to you guys, okay? If this recipe was bad, trust me, I would not post it. Here's the finished result. Go ahead and take a look at this. Do you see it? Do you see it? You see it? Oh my gosh, it was so good. You guys have got to try this recipe. And that is it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video.